Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel, so let's get straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
Rebuilds are one of the more relieving, but yet taxing things to watch your team go through as an NBA fan. Relieving because, bro, you already know the outcome of things, you already know how the season's gonna play out, you know your team is buns, and you know that a wave of L's are coming your way. But if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan like me, or maybe even the topic of today's video, a New Orleans Pelicans fan, then expectations start to come your way. You expect all the L's that you've been taking over the past few months to slow up and the W's to creep up. But what if they don't? Or what if you don't get the W's as consistently as you thought you would? That is when all hell breaks loose and when frustrations are at an all-time high. Bro, to keep it a buck with you, a lot of us fans don't even have high expectations, and we are realists. We understand that not every single team in the NBA is built or is going to win an NBA championship. That's just how it is, I'm sorry to say. We just want to see a good group of basketball players play good basketball. That's it. The New Orleans Pelicans were a hot topic last year and drew the entire league's attention, for good and bad reasons though. They moved on from the Anthony Davis era and have these three at the time kids from LA who were actually talented and were great building blocks to start from absolutely nothing. And that nothing of a basketball talent that they were quickly turned into something big. And when I say big, I mean really big. I'm talking Zion Williamson type big. Zion's hype train is 1 to none. This type of talent enters the league once, maybe twice in the NBA every 4 to 10 years, and the Pelicans, luckily, I'm not sick, but you know, it's supposed to be a, I was giving y'all a hint. I'm sorry. I still think the way things panned out for the New Orleans Pelicans on draft night and how, the amount of revenue correlated to their draft spot and for the Memphis Grizzlies, whatever. I'm not going to get into the whole politics thing and whether or not it's rigged, corrupt, or a conspiracy theory. But if you want to get into that, which I'm not going to today, go ahead and click this or that video. But anyways, they luckily landed Zion Williamson, and he fits really well alongside Brandon Ingram, who is more than likely going to be a perennial all-star. He improved across the board as a player and really improved his jumper, which is the main reason why he is a key piece in New Orleans that is untouchable in New Orleans. Those are New Orleans' two guys. They are promising, they are loaded with potential and have championship aspirations one day. But that one day is a big maybe. This early on in the season, their future is being questioned. A lot of people wondered why I'd have the New Orleans Pelicans kinda low in my power ranking. Now with a generational talent like this in your hands, a lot of people expected a sizable leap from last year to this year with the New Orleans Pelicans. And the sizable leap that they're supposed to make, they're at least supposed to be like a playoff team. Right now, they're not in the playoff picture, by the way. This leads them to have a lot of questions. But with a generational talent like this, and also a perennial all-star, maybe even superstar one day in Brandon Ingram, you shouldn't be questioned. Why are they questioned? Let's get into that. Well, let's start off with this offseason. The New Orleans Pelicans have a very solid team. They by no means have a lottery team or a team that's not expected to have a good amount of wins during the season. Like, no, they're actually good. They have solid players. They still have a foundation of Zoe, Ingram, Zion. They have Steven Adams now. JJ Redick is still there, and a couple of other good young players as well who are, good to keep around. Nobody's saying that they're buns or butt cheeks over here. No, that's not me. That's not what I came here to do. What I came here to do is enlighten you about how suspect this team is and how they may have messed things up this offseason. Now, first things first that I want to talk about. They obviously lost Drew Holiday, and I'm not gonna act like they didn't get a certain amount of assets for him back like they did, but these assets aren't affecting their future right now, and nobody knows what they could use that asset for. The asset that they could possibly use when it comes to, what they got out of Drew Holiday could be for another star, Bradley Beal. Who knows? The answer is nobody knows. But what I do know right now is that signing or that trade for Steven Adams that they made is, not a bad move at all. Like, Zion Williamson and Steven Adams fit okay together, but if you're thinking that Steven Adams is going to stick around for the long term and be the championship center for this team, I'm sad to say, but you're really mistaken, because Steven Adams can only make this team so great. Now, yes, Steven Adams is an upgrade from what they had last year in Derek Favors. Derek Favors was really limited. He was an elite defender for them, but at the same time, he was limited. And again, Steven Adams is a great defender, great rebounder. He's great at the defensive end, and he's actually pretty okay offensively, even though he may seem really limited. Limited. I really like the use of that word. Steven Adams limits the potential of this New Orleans Pelicans team, if you know what I mean. Zion Williamson, as y'all know, he's not a shooter. He is a growing shooter, but still, like, at the end of the day, I don't think he's ever going to be known in his NBA career to be a good to great shooter at all. And for players like that, you need good spacing around to let Zion Williamson breathe and just do what Zion do. Zion things, dunking on people, using his pogo stick like legs to get easy putbacks, and just forcing his way through traffic. And with Steven Adams in the lane, like, he has no other place to be, and it's gonna be a really awkward fit offensively. Now, I'm not saying that they're not gonna get any wins or they're not gonna be hella successful in the future. Like, no, they're gonna get their wins, they're gonna be successful, and they may see a couple playoff runs with Steven Adams as the starting center for the New Orleans Pelicans. But when it comes to the long term and trying to make other teams' head hurts when it comes to trying to think of a way to guard Zion Williamson, Steven Adams is not the answer. Steven Adams is not the piece to make this team unguardable like they should be. He caps out their potential, he caps out their ceiling, and for a unique, damn near unicorn type player that Zion Williamson is, bro, there should be no ceiling. I say all that just to say this: Steven Adams is not the long-term answer for this team. He's a short-term answer, but when it comes to thinking that he is your team center for the future, bro, Steven Adams is just not that. The entire Pelicans organization, dating back to the Anthony Davis days, have one recurring issue, and that recurring issue is just having some type of consistency in these players' lives. And they got rid of one of the most consistent things in the NBA, and that thing, well, person, was Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is steady and he's ready for whatever. He's battle tested and battle ready to go through whatever. And they lost him, and they acquired, of course, a new head coach. And I'm starting to think that they started off this new era that they're in off the wrong foot with signing Stan Van Gundy as their head coach. I just simply don't think that it's a great mix. And along with their spacing issues with Steven Adams and JJ Redick playing like booty butt cheek so far this early into the season, another major issue, a major situation that needs to be spoken upon is their PG situation. As said earlier, they lost Jrue Holiday, and losing Jrue hurt. As said earlier, they lost Jrue Holiday, and losing Jrue hurt because now they're one ball handler short. All they have left is Ingram and sorta Lonzo. Lonzo is a touchy player to cover in general because his middle name is Inconsistent. If you didn't know that, Lonzo Inconsistent Ball, that's what I call him. I'm telling you boys, once every 5 games he looks like he's one of the better ball handlers in the league, and others, he just looks like another role player. Lonzo's issue ties into the Pelicans' issues as a whole. They are running a new offense. In last year's offense, they were second in pace, number 2 in the entire league. They were one of the fastest in the NBA, and if you know Zoe, you know that he's great at playing fast. He thrives in a fast-paced offense, and this season so far for the New Orleans Pelicans, they are ranked 26th, which neutralizes Zoe and his strength. Now, I hope a lot of you Lonzo stands and fans aren't gonna sit here blaming Stan Van Gundy, even though I think that he's not the right coach. I still think Lonzo has a lot of fault to do with this. As an NBA point guard who's going into his 4th year in the NBA, half-court offenses shouldn't scare you or neglect your game in any type of way or form. There's no excuse about it. If you want to be called one of the elite point guards in the NBA or have any aspirations to be an elite point guard, then you have to be versatile in any type of scoring setting for the most part. Playing at a slow-paced offense should not offset your game like this. But for someone like Lonzo Ball, it does. As said earlier, it neutralizes his strengths. It's like his kryptonite. He has no consistency and he doesn't have the ability to play in a half-court setting. He is not one of the greatest playmakers in the league because he cannot penetrate defenses or be a finishing threat in the paint. Zoe is not doing floaters, fancy layups, or nothing like that on a consistent enough basis. No way, Jose. We can all read his game. He's tentative when it comes to going into the paint. He's not taking many contested layups or getting to the line as much as he really should be. He's averaging like 1 free throw attempt per game. If you watch him play against his brother the other night, who can actually do a lot of these things, like I said 2 weeks ago when I dropped that video right there, I was in my bag, go watch it. You'll know exactly what I mean. The point of this video was that the Pelicans have some retooling to do this early on in their rebuild. They lost their special touch last year. Now, I'm not saying that they have to trade Lonzo Ball or anything like that. No, that's not the case. He is a great off guard, but I believe they need to upgrade at the point guard position. Get a real scoring threat who can dish it, and also attack the rim relentlessly to get others open looks. They just need to get someone who can shoot, dog, and Eric Bledsoe is not the answer. I'm sorry, but we all seen this man expose himself occasion after occasion after occasion in the NBA playoffs. If they don't address these issues sooner than later, then in my opinion, they will be the NBA's next greatest disappointing team. this is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on my channel and seeing what I have to talk about today. That is, as usual, pretty nosy of you, but at the same time, hella dope of you to do. I really appreciate y'all, man. Make sure you go ahead and leave a like on this video. Please leave a like on this video, comment on this video, and also, it's really important that you share this video, comment, just really interact with this video, boys. It's so important because I ain't gonna lie, YouTube is trying to hold me and kind of get me up out of here. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. Follow me on my socials, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that, so you can know when I'm posting, since like YouTube doesn't want to show my videos in the subscription box these days. Do that, and after you do that, I want to make sure that you make your day great. Until then, I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made the surf, free the way, told my girl who'd ever